dealing with our challenges, assessing needs, and finding solutions. Short-term, mid-range, and long-term. Solutions can find us working in the margins. Today's world is a tough baseline. It's more difficult than ever to just exist or get by, and it's not getting any easier. Moving forward in today's world has become both an art and a science. Food, clothing, temporary shelter, long-term housing, short-term jobs, temporary employment, or long-range careers. It all takes some help and finesse. Not everyone can do it. It's an art and a science. And let's face it, not everyone is a scientist. Some people need more help than others. The basics like reliable transportation, internet, laundry, a regular shower, even water, those basics we all take for granted. Electricity, these are the challenges of those caught in the net, are homeless, unhoused, housing challenged, living in the margins. People of all ages, young, middle-aged, senior citizens, entire families, male, female, all reasons and all walks of life. Anyone can find themselves living in the margins. Homelessness and the challenges that go with it are not going away, and we can't ignore them. It's just too expensive. We've got to do better. Take the next step forward. Tune in now and listen to Working in the Margins.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. This is Shazette, and you've tuned in to Working in the Margins with Z, and I'm Z. So hello to all my fellow freedom fighters, my abolitionists, my fellow agitators. We're working in some failed systems, y'all. We got a lot of work ahead of us. So I'm your host, and I get to have great conversations with folks in our community about what they're doing to help our community. And this show, I know y'all are probably saying, she doing another reentry show? But I am. I'm doing another reentry show because I found out that there is a strong commitment to close another prison. And it's here in San Bernardino. Well, it's Riverside County. It's the Norco rehab. They call it a rehabilitation center. But the Norco Rehabilitation Center. And that's happening this year. So we're going to have 2,700 new folks possibly out on our streets, depending upon what their crimes are. But it's a rehabilitation center. So the goal is that they are rehabilitated and that they will be back in our communities and on our streets and living next door to us and taking care of families that go to school with our kids. So we want to make sure that they are coming out to a community that is prepared for them to become successful. So I am so excited today. I have an abundance of blessings of guests, and and you will not believe that we all have like some of the same work in common, because yes, folks, there are people out here that are really doing this work in our communities to help folks. So my first guest, we met last year. This is Miss Precious Ransom. We met last year through a series of some community meetings and things like that. But she is a dear woman. She's got her heart in the right place, and I was like, I need to know her. I need to bring her into my orbit so that we can, try to see what we can do together, because you're doing some good stuff out there. She is the founder and executive director. Look at that. Black Excellence of She Rises, a safe haven for empowerment, and they do transitional housing. So for our folks in marginalized communities. So I'm excited. Why She Rises, Miss Precious, why?
Thank you so much, Zazette, for having me here, having She Rises here to this beautiful platform. We just want to thank you so much for all the work that you do. And thank you to all the heroes out there that's helping and supporting that we do, yes. Mm-hmm. So why She Rises comes from lived experience and responsibility. I myself, I'm a single mother, and I raised a total of 5 children. 3 of them aren't mine because, their parents are unstable or incarcerated. So, we're here to help women so that they can reunify with their children and help them where the system sometimes can't meet them where they are.
Right.
Yeah. So, that's our goal. Our goal is to have stability, dignity, and help our women, give them a voice, you know.
Right, right. So I know we talked a little bit before the show, and I was asking some questions. Um, you're located in the city of Fontana,
Yes.
which is great. In San Bernardino County, we need as many transitional housing programs. Is this a program? Are there program requirements for them to be in your unit restabilizing?
There are program requirements. Our program requirements are that they want to succeed and achieve, you know, the goals that we want to help them, you know, help them write the next chapter.
Okay.
So yeah, as long as they're willing to want to reunify, we're here to help everyone. We don't discriminate. We don't take away. You know, we're trying to give the help that no one is helping them with.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. Who are your partners? Who are you working with in the community?
I have a few different partners, such as different resources, because we like to refer our participants out, whether or not if our program isn't the right fit for them, you know, they might need something a little bit more severe. So we have a lot of different partners, such as Acuna Foundation.
Okay.
We have other transitional housing programs, Time for Change, other agencies, and we're trying to work with Family Assistance.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, because we share that in common, that Family Assistance Program, which is the agency that I have the honor of serving at, serving my community. We have transitional housing for reentry clients as well. So again, I think there's work to be done between us, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to give you an opportunity to come on. And I want you to share your phone number and your email with my community so that they know how to get in touch with you. We are going to help you grow, community, right? We're going to help her grow because we need her services. We want her services. We need to keep them in our community. And for the very reason I told you at the top of the show, we're closing prisons here in California. So I believe we only have a couple of women's, and now the Norco facility is going to close. So, but Precious, share your information because I want people to be able to reach out to you.
Thank you so much. So our website is www.safehavenforempowerment.org. On there, you can find a lot of resources. You can you can do intake, so we can receive them. You can contact us if you need help with any resumes or any resource information in your community. Our Instagram is sherises.mission, SHERISES.mission, and you can contact us at 909-547-9998.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the fact that we have our younger generations too, coming in behind. You said that earlier. You know, I'm your little sister. I said, yes, you are, ma'am. I said, because I would like to retire one day. So I love that our younger generation that they're still continuing this work. They're seeing the vitalness of continuing this work. And as African Americans or blacks, I prefer black. I'm gonna let y'all know this first of all. So I'm probably gonna use black. As a black person in our society, in our community, because of the statistic of over imprisonment of the male black population, a lot of these folks in prison are going to have the opportunity to rehabilitate and come back out to their families, and these are our family members. These are our brothers, our cousins, our uncles that are going to be able to come out, and they're going to get a second chance at trying to reestablish themselves and be successful in this life. So it's really important that they see that as Black Americans that we support that.
Yes.
That we're here to make sure that we advocate for that for them.
Exactly.
Nobody's coming to save us, so we have to save each other.
Yes.
And stick together. Mm-hmm. So thank you again, Precious. I commend you.
Thank you so much, Shazia.
And I want the community to support She Rises.
Yes. Because when she rise, we all rise.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I want us to make sure that, you know, I'll keep you up to date, community, if they have any fundraisers or galas or anything like that, because, you know, nonprofits always nonprofit is in the title. We always need funding, resources. So it's vital that I'm able to come to the community and use this platform to say, hey, She Rises is looking for some stuff. Let's help them out. So thank you again. We're going to take a break, an early break, so I can set up for the next two guests. And I'll be right back, community. Be right back.
This is KCAA.
KCAA.
Where life's much better. So download the app in your smart device today. Listen everywhere and anywhere. Whether you're in Southern California, Texas, or sailing on the Gulf of Mexico, life's a breeze with KCAA. Download the app in your smart device today.
I'll be sailing out of yesterday in the Gulf of Mexico.
KCAA.
This important time-sensitive message is brought to you by this station's generous sponsor, George Litchfield Associates, who has important Medicare information for all current and future Medicare recipients about some big changes happening. Medicare Clarified. Medicare is a nonprofit consumer service organization.
It's more important than ever to review your Medicare plan for 2025 from October 15th through December 7th. To find out if you're in the right plan for you, people are calling 951-769-0005. 951-769-0005. A popular and local Medicare plan is improving. Others are raising copays and adding deductibles. Biggest changes in the Medicare drug program in 15 years.
We thank George Litchfield and Litchfield Insurance for their generous support of this radio station.
KCAA.
Now, here's a new concept: digital network advertising, where businesses display your ad inside their building. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, your company is going to thrive with digital network advertising. Choose your marketing sites or jump on the DNA system and advertise with all participants. Your business ad or logo is rotated multiple times an hour inside local businesses where people will discover your company. Digital network advertising. DNA, a novel way to be seen and remembered. Digital network advertising with networks in Redlands and Yucaipa. Call in the 909 area 222-9293 for introductory pricing. That's 909-222-9293 for digital network advertising. One last time, digital network advertising. 909-222-9293.
For several years, KCAA has been marketing the Youngevity brand of nutritional and personal care products. Our experience with Youngevity has been 100% positive, so we are pleased to recommend them to you. Regarding nutritional supplements, we recommend Pollen Burst in the berry flavor and Tangy Tangerine 2.0 in the tablet form. For regularity issues, we recommend 3-Day Cleanse, and for personal care, we recommend Morning Hydration Cream. You can shop online for Youngevity at www.kcaateam.com, or you can order by phone by calling 800-982-3197 and tell customer support that you are part of the KCAA team. Youngevity is an American company based in San Diego. Call Youngevity at 800-982-3197 and ask about monthly auto ship that allows you to buy Youngevity products at wholesale prices. That number again, 800-982-3197.
Hello, welcome back. I tell you, time goes by so quick, and I felt like, I had all this time and I had 3 guests, and I'm like, but it's not enough time. I need like a whole nother show, because this gentleman right here, Armand King, I could talk to him all day, but more importantly, I like to be in his space because he is energy. He is positivity. We are connected in a way through the reentry work that I personally, the relationships that I've made with some folks is just, it keeps me going. It just keeps me going. Because here again is another person of color that is working in a field that disparately treats us unfairly. And it means, so I know I've told my story about my brother Jonathan, who passed away 4 years ago now. He picked up a terrible case when he was a teenager, and it just haunted him and followed him his whole life until the day he passed away on a park bench in Syracuse, New York, from a fentanyl overdose. I prayed and prayed for years and years. Our family prayed that there would be people that would come along to help him, because we saw it happening with some people. And I think I've thrown myself into this work because I still believe that they're there, and I don't want anybody to get left behind. I think people did what we could do for my brother, but I just wonder if all these advocates that I'm meeting right now that are out there doing this work and care about formerly incarcerated people and them, landing softly back in their communities and in their families after they've done hard time, or a long time of, being away, if those people were there for my brother, maybe he'd still be here. I don't know. I don't know. But when I meet people like I had Miss Precious right before us, who helps reentry formerly incarcerated women, and Armand King, who advocates not just for formerly incarcerated, but our youth. He works in prevention of to keep our kids from going to prison and having those experiences as well. But if they do, he's here to support that. So I want to introduce you to one of my newest friends. I think he's probably going to end up being one of my bestest friends because I see so much in him. And I'm drawn to people. That's just my nature. I'm drawn to people for reasons that sometimes are outside of my understanding. But I think about the work of Armand King every day. Every day I think about the work that he's doing. And I want people to come alongside and help him. So I'm going to have him introduce himself the only the way he can, and to tell us a little bit about the works that he's doing in the community around reentry.
Thank you for having me here. And before we move on who's the who and what's the what, just want to acknowledge your brother and the loss of his life.
Thank you.
And and I don't know.
He's my mission.
I was about to say, I don't, if his loss was what fueled your passion and your drive.
Yes.
Turn your pain into passion, your passion into purpose. But wanted to acknowledge him. Yes. And fentanyl, something that hits me close to home. The first person I lost to fentanyl was in 2017. This was my brother, one of my best friends, grew up together. And I didn't know what it was, and didn't
even know what it was. Huh?
I had to get educated. He was a week home from jail and prison himself. He was a week home. Messaged me on Instagram saying I'm about to join you, and I was doing my nonprofit stuff and community work, and I'm ready to come home and join you. Got a hotel with his girlfriend. Thought he was celebrating his coming home, but was poisoned by fentanyl. Yeah. Yeah. And
nasty stuff.
Nasty. And to this day, I've lost 33 loved ones to fentanyl.
Oh, man.
And so a major part of my mission is educating youth and people to fentanyl.
Yes.
And I've been doing this since
that
2021. It cannot stop. So
Who are you, Armand King?
I'm a child of God. I'm a tool. I'm a vessel. And I'm not no different. Nothing sets me aside except I use the gifts that I try to max them out, the gifts that God gave me. And as I grew up with a bunch of gifted individuals. And, you know, out of 8 of my best friends, I'm one of 4 that's still alive. Most of my friends have been murdered. And one of the best friends died of fentanyl, but we all were gifted and tremendously. None of us had a father in the household. All of us were, you know, self-taught, trained each other through the streets.
Through the streets.
And, but we all have these gifts, and and I'm not to say what I'm doing with my gifts is any better, but it's just the avenue that was chosen for me. But I do recognize these gifts in other people.
Yes.
I'm just yelling mine. And I think, honestly, a lot of it has to do with, I don't know why. Like, it's a gift and a curse being so connected to my lost loved ones. Like, I wish my brother who was murdered by 4 kids, when I was in prison myself, the one that took care of me, make sure I had money on my books and kept my phone ringing, and got mad at me for not calling home enough. And I'm coming home, man. I told him 2 days before I came home. He said, Armand, he on the phone yelling at me. Richard, he yelling at me. Why don't you call me every day? I said, bro, I'm almost to the gate. I said, man, I'll be home in 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm almost home. This after 3 years, I'm almost home. He said, bro, I put the money on your books so you can call me every day. Next day come around, I'm leaving the yard, buffing on the yard, and I walk like I'm about to go back to the dorms. I see the phones. I'm like, I'll call you tomorrow. Wasn't no tomorrow.
There wasn't no tomorrow.
Wasn't no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that was 23 years ago.
Yeah.
And why do I still live with his face, his memory, like it was yesterday? And the continual, he was one of many, been losing friends to murder since I was 10. 10 my auntie, 12 my best friend, like back to back. Why do I have to live? But for whatever reason, it became the fuel.
Yes.
And I'm nonstop. I don't sleep. I sleep, but I don't sleep.
Right.
And, you know, just been dedicated to helping lives for the past 15 years. And
I know you have a story and you have your backstory, and sometimes our backstories, they can hinder us. You know, they can hinder us because they're like, well, nobody came to help me, so why am I, you know? But you've chosen to come back into this world, into this arena of, you know, to motivate people, to encourage people, to inspire people. When did you decide that this is what you were going to do to give back to the community? That this is what you had to do, what you had to be doing? I know we've lost people and that's our motivation, but when, you know, we can motivate and say we're going to just make a shitload of money and we're going to donate it to a cause.
Right.
You know, but you, like a lot of folks that I have the privilege of knowing, have given blood collateral, sweat collateral. When was it for you?
I can't lie. Didn't want to do this. Didn't think this was going to be the thing. No idea at all. And it wasn't right away. I came home from prison and it was still 1 foot in, 1 foot out, trying to keep up with my friends who didn't go, and they looked like they were shining still. And now I felt like I was behind. And then getting turned down for jobs I should have been hired for fast because of my background check came back. And getting denied. And I'm like, I already felt I was better than your job, but I was striving to get a job. Right. And I'm like, I know how to get money. It's not this job. I know how, but I don't want to do that. But now I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And that was for some years until, you know, almost a decade of me not. And then when the day it came to my attention that I had a bunch of youngsters that had been following me and my friends' footsteps for years. From my young hustler days, and they were young kids growing up just like us. When it was like I didn't choose the life of helping; it chose me, and it was no turning back. It was literally like a light switch. Like God was like, "I got a mission for you," and I've been on it, and it's been rocky, and again, like
I know.
I'm right now, and we're gonna talk about this later too. But I've composed and finalizing this book called Men Torn, and it comes from the word mentoring, which I've been doing. Drop the G, drop the I, mentoring. Men torn, split the word. Men torn men. Men like me, again, I'm not the only one of me. There's credible messengers, community mentors, lived experience experts. We come from the life. And we never get the therapy, the counseling, we never deal with the trauma, the murders, the prison time. We never really deal with that. We just go straight into helping others.
Right.
We live long enough, we survived. Now we're helping others.
Right.
But there's still a hole there that we have never got help with.
Right.
And if not addressed, we can break. And I've seen many mentors, many lived experience experts break in either publicly, different levels of it,
Right,
to
right.
all the way crashing out to suicide.
Right.
I've seen it all,
Right.
including within myself after years of doing the work, hard crashing.
Right. Is it, I know it is because it's hard for me to actually see people like walking in the pitfalls that I walked in and not wanting to help them, and not wanting to say, don't go that way. Don't go that way. I can tell you don't go that way, but they have to learn themselves, I guess. That's, to me, that's always the hardest. What do you do to encourage and mentor your youth? Is there a trick? Is there something to say? Is there a key word to say? What's been successful for you?
So there's always going to be that where you see somebody going down the pitfalls because you have experienced or know you've lived long enough. And you say the words, and sometimes you get aggravated, like, "Why didn't you listen
Why didn't
to me?"
you listen?
But they got their own journey
I
too.
told you so.
And at first it was hard, and
Yeah.
I used to take it hard on myself when someone would go back to jail or someone would go do something dumb, and I'm like, and I warned them or told them, and I would own it like I did that.
Because I'm like, me,
Right, and
so,
and then again, it came a time where I had to realize, did I tell them? Did I do everything I could? Because that's a human being. You can't make nobody do nothing.
Anything.
Because nobody made me do nothing at 17,
know.
16, 19, 30.
Right.
Right? So, so I had to let that go. But your question,
58.
what shit? I ain't gonna say. Talk about so, from the beginning, because no one taught me. I mean, I guess I have, because I've been blessed to see and be around community leaders and see them
Right.
growing up.
You've had mentors.
I've had mentors without them knowing they was my mentors.
Right,
But I had to
right.
rewind back like, no, God been lacing me. He been teaching me. I didn't know what my work was down the line, but
Right.
but I was being
Right.
taught to be different.
It works out that way sometimes.
But from the beginning of me starting community work, my mind was from the beginning is, what did I need? Because I'm reflected in all these young lives.
Right.
What would have made me think? What would,
Right.
What would have got my attention? So
Right.
I've been very successful from day one. I have never had an empty program from the time I started and launched. I'm filling up rooms, and that's because already being the cool kid around or being known and but also knowing to go get the other cool kids. I knew. So what would have got my attention? So in short, that's what my concept has always been: be the new cool. What would have got Armand's attention? Use those methods. I've ran for 9 years, ran the Youth Hip Hop Leadership Summit,
That's
using rap and money, contest prizes, and the cool rappers around.
Meet
to
them where
bring
they
the
are.
kids. Meet them where they are. Don't, as an adult, and we get mad because this 13-year-old ain't coming up to me in this tech or whatever it is. I want them to learn how to do this. Well, make it cool.
Yeah.
Go down to where they at, and
Meet
don't
them
get
where
mad
they
because they
are.
ain't stepped up to your 45-year-old, learned all the lessons self.
I am on a journey
Anyway.
right now. I am on a journey right now of learning to, I thought I was good at this. I really did, about meeting people where they are. But I feel like just recently I got a lot to learn, because the older you get, I'm 58. I'll be I'm closer to
You
60.
say you 38?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm closer to, but I know people can change. I know people have good in them. I know everybody wants to help and do right. But do I? Do I know that? Can everybody do it? And so as I get older, I'm more critical of that. I'm more like, you're just not trying. You have all this potential. You're not. But that can come off heavy-handed sometimes. And I'm really learning right now to like just meet folks where they are. And I think that's what I really appreciated about you when I started researching and hearing more about you, and I watch your TED Talk, is you are appealing to folks and these kids and these youth. You are appealing to them in the things that they're interested in. And you can do that. It gets harder the further we get apart in generations. It gets harder.
It does. And these gray hairs. So look.
I dyed mine this week.
I mine's next week before I get real quick. So I just thought of this as you were talking, and I might need to get a T-shirt. So for sure, meet them where they are. But as I've gotten older and got the more experience, there's also leave them where they are too, because you ain't about to tear me down. And you got one life to live. So I'm going to meet you where you are, but some people where they are ain't where I need to be.
Right.
So I'm going to leave you where you are too.
Yeah.
And so you need to be able to cut off. So I'm in that season. Well, I will leave you for my own mentality, because there is somebody who is going to accept the teachings and the help and the gifts when someone else will just pull for whatever their reason is. And you as the person, the giver, and it's hard, but you need to be able to separate and not drain. I have seen humans that are givers, that people suck the life energy out of them, and then they die.
Yeah.
And you get a candle lit for you. If you're really famous, you'll get a mural on the side of a liquor store. Everybody getting wings on their Instagram picture.
Amazing.
I've seen community members who have given their life for the community. People, they won't show up today. It's their birthday remembrance. It's 2 people in the garden. No, thank you.
Right.
So you need you too.
Yeah.
So leave them where they are.
Yeah. I hear sometimes you can't save everybody. You can't save them all. That's what they say. And I still think in my immaturity of this issue, I still think I can. I still think I can save them all. But the reality is that who am I saving? Who am I saving? And what am I saving them for? So I think I'm looking at getting into more of a mentor aspect, more of I'm going to encourage you to do what you do best with exactly the tools that you have right now. I think that's the important message, especially with folks coming out of prisons, because they've learned things in there. Some of them come out with skill sets that we are going to have to be. Maybe this is a test too, to see how we're going to handle, a lot of these prisons, they have programs and things like that. So we're getting, some of them are an educated population. Some of these folks are going to come out, how are we going to accept them? And I need to, it's something that I'm working on. I'm just going to say something I'm working on. We're going to take a break because we're gonna keep on talking. But when I come back, we're gonna have Carly Kalinich from Family Assistance Program here. So be right back.
KCAA.
Barry Manilow will head out on tour next month after undergoing treatment for lung cancer. The tour announcement says Manilow's surgery went well and his medical team is optimistic. Manilow will kick off his arena tour February 27th in Tampa. He'll visit 15 cities, including Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Nashville, before wrapping up on April 29th in Georgia. Ticket pre-sales start Thursday, general on sale set for Friday. Dilbert comic strip creator Scott Adams dead at the age of 68. Adams announced he had been diagnosed with prostate cancer in May. His ex-wife Shelley announcing his death on a live stream. Home Alone star Daniel Stern facing prostitution charges in Ventura County. The 68-year-old Stern was charged with a misdemeanor. Of Stern, who also starred in City Slickers, was cited December 10th.
You don't want a girl like me, I'm too crazy.
Geese and Cardi B, the next musical guest for the upcoming episodes of Saturday Night Live. Geese will be the musical guest for the January 24th episode. It'll be the band's first appearance on SNL. Cardi B will perform on the January 31st episode. The performance will mark Cardi's first time on the late night stage in almost a decade.
Time goes by.
Ariana Grande teasing a mystery project during an interview with Variety. The singer said, "There's something else I'm very excited about down the line, but I can't say much yet." She didn't reveal the nature of her upcoming venture, only hinted that it contained multitudes. Grande telling Variety that she doesn't plan to release new music before May. That's entertainment. I'm Jennifer Bolsoni.
Southern California's Inland Talk Express is KCAA.
For several years, KCAA has been marketing the Youngevity brand of nutritional and personal care products. Our experience with Youngevity has been 100% positive, so we are pleased to recommend them to you. Regarding nutritional supplements, we recommend Pollen Burst in the berry flavor and Tangy Tangerine 2.0 in the tablet form. For regularity issues, we recommend 3-Day Cleanse, and for personal care, we recommend Morning Hydration Cream. You can shop online for Youngevity at www.kcaateam.com, or you can order by phone by calling 800-982-3197 and tell customer support that you are part of the KCAA team. Youngevity is an American company based in San Diego. Call Youngevity at 800-982-3197 and ask about monthly auto ship that allows you to buy Youngevity products at wholesale prices. That number again, 800-982-3197.
Now, here's a new concept.
KCAA.
Welcome back. This is Shazat. You have tuned into Working in the Margins with Z. That's me, Z. We are on KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. And we are in the amazing studios of the Teamsters Kamek Hall, 1932, Teamsters 1932, right here in downtown San Bernardino. So I'm running around. I'm going to catch my breath real quick. So I have first of all, she's my colleague at Family Assistance Program. So we work in the reentry part of the agency, program of the agency. She is the director of the reentry program at Family Assistance Program. And I invited Carly to this conversation because she represents the work that we do with thousands of formerly incarcerated, justice-impacted people in San Bernardino County. And so I felt like, and she introduced me to Armand. I know Armand through Carly. She felt we needed to know each other, so I felt like, yeah, we do. So, and it's just been great. And I love collaborations, y'all. Y'all know that I love a collaboration. And right now it's important that we collaborate because we have let me tell you again how many. 2,766 prisoners at Norco Rehabilitation Prison in Norco. So if y'all don't know where that is, it's right down to 15. It's off of 6th Street. I used to work over there years and years ago. And it was a old motel or a hotel. It was like a boutique place. And then they turned it into a jail. But the city actually wants it back. They don't want this prison here. Some other cities where they were closing the prisons in California, they had beef because of so many people that were the employees that were working there, which is understandable, but it's the California prison system. You can put them in other positions, lots of places. And if you don't have the population to support a whole prison, meaning that there's not enough people in there to keep it going, then do something else. So the Norco wants their building back, and it's a beautiful campus over in Norco. It's like off a lake. It's really, really nice. But anyway, so Gavin Newsom, the California governor, he announced at the beginning of his term that he was closing prisons in California because the numbers just didn't dictate that we have all these prisons open. And then, justice reform, the legalization of marijuana and things like that. Did y'all know we had so many people in the prisons behind marijuana?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately. Free the guys.
Yes.
That's how I feel. I'm
I
like,
actually
come
have
on.
a possession charge myself, but it's been eradicated now.
That's what I went to prison for. And when my brother, we talked about that, passed away, I was serving time for weed, and I can't get that back. So yeah, and the ripple effects of people going in jail for something that's now legal on the stock market, now being reclassified, everybody with a cannabis charge needs to be free. And the thing too, so you may have a cannabis charge, but what about the other charges they gave you? Because they didn't care about the cannabis, but they used cannabis to get you in the system.
To get you in there.
Anyway,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So we gonna have. I see a lot of opportunities for folks that are coming out behind marijuana because I see new entrepreneurs.
Yes.
I see lots of opportunities, grow factories, grow systems. Because marijuana is not going nowhere.
And it's legal.
It's not going nowhere. So my brother would tell you different. He was like, we need to keep it underground as much as possible. But I don't think we're going to be able to do that because there's so many folks that are in prisons right now that are being let out because of marijuana charges. So, let's get. But I wanted to share a couple of statistics, Carly, with you, because I want to ask you some questions about. So almost 100 people a day are let out of our prisons in California. Almost 100 people a day.
That's just CDCR, I'm assuming.
Right.
Right.
What happens to them when they get out?
Typically, if there's a good reentry provider that's already working in the system with them, they might do a warm handoff and transition them back into the community with stable housing. In fact, there are initiatives that are put in place where they have to do a 90-day exit plan, and certain populations have to have plans before they're released, and they have to have secured housing. However, that's just for CDCR. What we're seeing in the federal prison is like almost non-existent. We do have a contract with the BOP up in Victorville, and it's disheartening. We are doing a lot of the footwork in there. And then the county jails, they just let you go. And then they tell you, you better get off our property within X amount of minutes or we will rearrest you.
Yeah.
In this community, they'll rearrest fast. And some of our county jails in San Bernardino County are about 5 miles from civilization. So up in Adelanto, specifically the High Desert Detention Center, they had to contract out with an agency to do transportation because they were just letting them out in literally 5 miles of desert with no street lights, nothing. And they would have to walk into the nearest, the middle of nowhere.
How soon could a recently incarcerated person, formerly incarcerated person, look to getting a job? What's the realistic time frame?
Well, we just got a lifer who just got out. She got out on Sunday, and she's already been offered a job letter through St. John's here, who also has the RISE program that is doing reentry. But she also came out as a certified drug and alcohol counselor.
Right.
So our former lifers, tend to be more equipped are long-term offenders because they've sat down and they've programmed and they actually wanted to do something, right? And they had to prove that they had the means to get out.
Okay.
So what we tend to see is those are more of the successes. Like we had Fabiola, who got a job at Operation New Hope. The biggest contributing factor, though, in any job, right? Because they say 86% of you applying is through referrals, right? Is 86% of people get jobs through referrals.
Right.
And so us having
you
those,
know.
it's who you know, and us having those connections to the employers, to the other reentry agencies, just integrated into the community, that is the biggest part of success. In fact, the statistics show that over a period of time, the longer an individual is connected to a reentry program, up to 3 years, the odds decrease from 67% recidivism rate down to like 4%.
Do we have enough people doing this work?
No, not in San Bernardino County. No, we're the we're the largest funded reentry program. I think our budget is like around 12 million. Somewhere around 12 million a year, but we give funding to other organizations. So we give funding to like 6 other organizations in the community. We oversee some of other reentry providers' actual accounting, just so they can sustain doing the work, right?
Right.
Because we can't do all the work. I don't want to do all the work.
Right.
I don't want.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but no, we do not. There's only 2 people who do women's housing in our community. And everybody does things different. So, it looks a lot different over at Family Assistance Program than it does at other places,
Right.
for example.
That's why we need to keep partnering with other agencies that do this work, like Ms. Precious and Mr. Armand, so we can leverage our services, whatever we don't have, maybe somebody else might have, or a partner, Mr. King's might have, or Ms. Precious, she's got transitional housing, so I just think we all need to know, because we are going to have, true to his promise, Governor Newsom, this is his 5th prison that he's closed. This will be the 5th, I believe, or this is the 6th, and that's what he promised. And if you are a prison reform advocate, like I consider myself a prison reform advocate, the prison industrial complex was created to promote slavery, and so whatever we could do to advocate against that. But if we have to be prepared for folks to come out, though.
Yeah.
And like Carly, 100%, when you say that the success rate is going to be that more, it'll be that much better because of if a person is associated with a reentry program or a mentor or supports, then we need to have more people doing this work.
Absolutely.
Because what is
scary for our community is we have the 2nd largest re-entering population in California, in San Bernardino County. One, because part of the reason because we're the largest, right? As far as size-wise, and we have to fight for our money with the state, right? Like, we weren't awarded this last ARG contract, and we went to the state and we said, the last go around, you gave this region $16 million, like between all of the service providers. You can't just cut all of our funding and dump 80% of it into LA County. That can't happen.
Right.
It can't. Here's the numbers to prove why we need it.
Not everybody's going to LA County.
Not everybody's going to LA County. In fact, I think there's over 2,000 people who come per year, just in women alone.
Wow.
From CDCR.
Wow.
And so, if there's only 2 agencies to sustain that, what
That's crazy.
What's happening to them?
Right. Where are they going? What are we doing with them? That's one thing I like about some other friends, some of our other friends and partners and so on. But right now, we are starting to get information about some of these folks that are running for governor in the state of California. I came out for California Superintendent of Schools, Tony Thurmond, early on. I think that we're ready for him, and I think he's ready for us. But one of the main reasons that I support him is his initiative to build thousands of units for homeless youth, and so that they can pursue their education, stop the prison to school to prison pipeline. If you help a homeless youth, you help a family. You help that family's family. You change the dynamic of what these kids are seeing and what they're learning by giving them the advantage of living in, secure housing and the ability to be educated. So those are my concerns. Elections matter, and people who run for office matter. So look it up and research about who we're voting for. But I want to first of all, thank you so much, Armand King, for bringing the energy.
He always has the energy.
He always has the energy.
As I'm falling asleep because I'm tired right now.
And
I
it
ain't
should
slept.
be. It's a good tired. But thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. We got a lot to do this year. It's early in the year. Carly, any support we can offer you and family assistance with this? I know we do have a rental assistance program.
Yes.
I'm gonna share it on my link. Working in the Margins with Z. You can find it all on the socials, Insta, Facebook, yada yada yada. But we have a rental assistance program for formerly incarcerated people. And again, thank you. And community, I'm giving you homework. Let's think about what we're going to do for these folks that are coming back to our communities, how we're going to make them feel. Let's make sure that they come back and we give them a soft place to land so that they can be great people and take care of families and be great community members. I will see you next week. I have my co-host, Ipiani Lockhart. We're going to be bringing the energy and bringing the fun. Have a great week and a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
NBC News on KCAA Loma Linda, sponsored